Hello. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to create a quiz in Google Forms. We're going to be looking at creating the quiz, sharing the quiz, and then accessing the data. To start, we need to be on our Google browser. We're going to go to the 9 little boxes up here. They are where we find our Google Apps. Click on that and choose Forms. This will take us to our Google Forms page. Here you see all the forms I've ever created, but for our purpose we're going to go up here to More, and we will see all of the templates that Google has available. For our purposes today, let's choose Blank Document. Okay, here we have our template. We are going to change the name of this quiz to Technology Quiz. Need to change it again right here. And we're ready to start. The first thing that we need to do is give some instruction. And so we're going to say, choose the best answer to the following questions. Okay, so we have a few options right here. We can add a question, we can change our title and description, we can add an image, we can add a video, or we can add a section, and that's a little more advanced there. We're not going to be looking at that today. So our first question, if we click on that, it opens up all of our options. Our first question is going to be a short answer question, and it is going to be name. Okay, this is just going to give the student the opportunity to type in their name. We need to have this, so we're going to require it. We don't have an answer to this. We don't have any point value, so we're through with that question. Come over here to the plus sign, click it again, and we have question, our first question. So, question 1. It's going to be which of the following is not an input device? Now, the default here is multiple choice. If we didn't want a multiple choice question, we could open the drop down and choose paragraph, check boxes. Let's say you had more than one correct answer. Drop down, linear scale like you might use in a survey, a multiple choice grid. You could use this. It works really well with events and dates. You'd have the events down the left side and the dates across the top, and the students would match the event to the date. And there's other options for dates and times here. We're going to go in and add some answer choices. We have a printer, keyboard, mouse, and scanner. We do need to choose the correct answer here, and we need to give the question a point value. If we needed to edit the question, we could click on edit. Let's say we decided we wanted to add a picture or an image. We can go in here. We might have it in our album. We might have take a snapshot, or we can go to search and use the browser to look up anything we want. Okay, so our first question is completed. Let's add another one. Again, we're just going to stick with multiple choice here. This is question 2. So which of the following is not an output device? Again, it's multiple choice. We'll come in, we'll put in our answers. I want all those to be lowercase. A printer, a monitor, some speakers, and a keyboard. again, we want this question answered. We want to give it an answer. We want to give it a point value. I'm wondering if I did this up here, and I didn't, so I'm going to go back and correct my mistake. And if I go up here and click on this little preview button, I see my quiz. Okay, it's very basic, but you get the point. Now let's say I decide that I want to be a little more creative with my background, or purple's not my school color, and so I'm going to go in here, choose the color palette button, and I can choose any color I want, or I can go down and choose an image, and it offers a large number of different banners that you can use. You can import your own, all of that good stuff. Alright, so I have created my quiz. The next thing that I need to do is I need to be able to send it to my students. Big send button up here, click on that. I have the option to send it by email. I can create a link. I can embed it with HTML, whichever one I want to do. Today I'm going to email, and I have my students grouped by class period and their Gmail accounts, and so all I'd have to do is put in first period, and all of those email addresses would appear, and I would send this form off to them. I can include that form in the email, and it just appears when they open their email. So I've sent it out. Every student, when they come into class, logs into their computer, and there's the quiz. So the last thing that I need to do is I need to look at my data. So let's go back to the preview button. Here's our quiz, and let's take our quiz. So let's say that Sarah takes the quiz, and she chooses the correct answers. She can see her score after she's submitted it. Okay, she made a 20 out of 20. We can go back. If we click on preview again, and let's say that Bill takes the quiz, and he answers in a different way. He can check his score. Well, he got 10 out of 20, and it tells him that that printer was the correct answer. If we go back, we can see that we've had 2 responses. We open up this information, and it tells us that of the respondents, 1 scored 10 and 1 scored 20. It tells us which 2 students have taken the quiz, Sarah and Bill, and it tells us which answers they chose. Now, what are we going to do with this information? How can we see it differently? If we go up here to this green button and we click on that, it's going to take us to a spreadsheet. Before we do that, let me show you that we have some other options, and one of them is to get email notification for each new response. Now, if you're doing this in a classroom setting and everybody's taking it at one time, you may not want to have 30 emails bombard you at one time. But let's say it's a survey, or you have an order form, something like that. Then you may want to know when each one of those responses are made. But we can choose our response destination, and we're going to create a spreadsheet. And if we click down here, it's going to open it for us. And here we go. This tells us what time Sarah and Bill each took the quiz, tells us how they scored, and it tells us what answer they chose. Now this is handy when you look down and you say, okay, both of them chose the correct answer for E, but they chose different answers for D. Maybe I didn't cover that as well. And if the more data that you have, the more information you're going to have about that. But this is the basics of how to create this this quiz and the data that you can receive. If we go back to our quiz, it's quick, it's easy, and it allows us to have very quick feedback to a few basic questions. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.